So does everyone know this meme?
Driving in my car right after a beer.
Recently I've been thinking about Chapter 5 and what it might give us. I realized that there's an actual possibility that the Bergentruck meme, or some variation of it, will appear in one of the future chapters. This is what the young call cracked theory. Anyway, let's get straight into the video. First point, Deus Ex Machina. An unexpected power or event saving a seemingly hopeless situation, especially as a contrived plot device in a piece of media. It's something that happens every chapter. Don't believe me? Chapter 1. An uprising is organized by Lanza. Chapter 2. Burley gathers everyone to create the Thrash Machine. Chapter 3. Undyne saves Toriel from being kidnapped. Chapter 4. Gus and Boom gives us enough hope to find a way to destroy the Titan. There's a pattern here. We bailed out of every boss battle. However, a more subtle pattern is hidden underneath. We get progressively more autonomy. In Chapter 1, we have no doing in the defeat of the king. We get entirely bailed out by the uprising. In Chapter 2, we do get help from others, but we actually lead them into battle. We actually are the figureheads of this battle. Still Deus Ex Machina, but not as blatant. Chapter 3 is the first time we actually lose, but Undyne comes to minimize the losses. She didn't change the outcome, but the aftermath was definitely reduced by her. Chapter 4 was the first time we actually were able to defeat a boss by ourselves. Gus and Boom didn't help in the fight itself, and he served more as a way to restore our spirits. He inspired hope, but that is hope we were already capable of. Nevertheless, we still wouldn't have done it without Person. As we see with each new chapter, we gain the ability to become our own saving grace. If we follow this pattern, Chapter 5 will incorporate some sort of clutch delivered by Susie. This means that we'll probably do something crazy that isn't guaranteed to work. And nothing says the sword clutch louder than a chase scene in the Bergentruck itself. Another point is fan service. Not look at conventionally attractive women fan service, but look at old characters you like come back fan service. Usually this sort of fan service means that the same characters fill the same roles. It's easy to fall into this trap because it's the most logical way to do this, but also the least narratively interesting. Look at the book where Percy Jackson and Jason switch places. Yeah, we get the joy of seeing Percy Jackson again, but he's the main protagonist again. To be fair, the story written was still interesting, but I think that the way Michael Grant treats Sam in his Gone series is more interesting. He's there, but not in the spotlight. Toby Fox does it similarly to Grant. Toriel becomes a mother figure we wanted to see in Undertale. Gus and Boom turns from a shopkeeper to a mentor. Heck, we can argue that the Neo body is fan service related to Meta and Neo. We finally get a full fight. The list goes on. Asgore was clowned on ever since Chapter 1. It all started going downhill even before Chapter 1 in fact. I doubt that Toby Fox will put Asgore in there to be this third inactive father figure like he was in Undertale with him. And the role of the mentor is also unlikely considering Justin already fills that role, and Asgore mentored Undyne before. One thing that will absolutely be like Asgore is him being someone who will help us escape. Not only is it in character, but it links thematically to Undertale, and it's something that a character hasn't done before in Deltarune. Again, either by driving or supplying a vehicle that will help us escape. Bergentruck ensues. So you've talked about plausibility so far. Well, it will make sense if this happened. But that alone isn't enough, because otherwise we just have another Russell's teapot. It can happen, but there's no reason to happen. Which is why I'll explain why this isn't only plausible, but thematically coherent. My final point, the motif of cause. The plot is driven by cause. Don't believe me? In Chapter 1, what is the first cutscene? A car. We enter Toriel's van. In Chapter 2, we have Undyne's suplexing cars and Queen's car, hitting other walking cars, which by the way, we drive. Then in Chapter 4, with the Queen's Chariot cannot be stopped prophecy, possibly having a double entendre. We shouldn't stop the Queen's car, but this can also be recontextualized into we cannot stop Toriel's car. That's just speculation. Not to mention, Upon interacting with either Toriel's van or Asgard's truck, Suzy talks about using it as a weapon. There's a clear connection between Cause and the Delta Warriors. It seems random, but the amount of plot-relevant explicit car references in the game is full. And it's only halfway into the game. If you assume this pattern continues, then the car becoming instrumental in future chapters is not only plausible, it is the only way to satisfy this theme of Cause. So the question remains, why Cause? If you look closely, we see that Cause represents inevitability in Deltarune. We don't get a chance to not go to school, we get in the car. We get stopped in chapter 2 because of a traffic jam, twice. First to an online suplexing Cause, and second time when we are forced to meet Svanton. In chapter 4, the theme of inevitability is directly tied to a car in the prophecy, one of the most talked about parts of Deltarune. This goes way past this has a chance of happening. This is even past this might happen. My guess? This will happen, seeing how strongly prophecy, inevitability, and cause are interlinked. So yeah, that's my crack theory. I am really confident that it's true. If it is, then this will be the biggest Nat 20 prediction in history. Nat 15 if it happens in the 7th or 6th chapter. If it isn't, this video will still be hilarious in retrospect.